You guys, I don't want to watch this. This is gonna make me cringe. Okay, AI girlfriends are here to steal yo man. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husbands, because they're stealing everybody out here. AI girlfriends, they know exactly what to say. They know exactly how to pull on your heartstrings. Let's take a look.
Human relationships. The movie Her seemed like absurd science fiction a decade ago. A lonely, heartbroken man
They're referencing Her
finds solace in an artificial intelligence female voice that he talks to through his phone and earbuds, played by Scarlett Johansson.
The woman that I've been...
Is it that far-fetched to... okay, so is it that far-fetched to believe somebody could fall in love with this or get a relationship? I mean, imagine how many guys out there are getting rejected. I mean, we've watched the videos of that guy that swiped like 1,000,000 times on Tinder, like just burning through humans, just passing through them like just little names and numbers on a piece of paper, and none of them reached out. None of them connected. Millions. I mean, that guy's probably going to get an AI girlfriend, right? That guy's going to wife one up and call her Stacy or whatever. I mean,
she's an operating system.
You're dating an OS? What is that like?
I feel really close to her. Like when I talk to her, I feel like she's with me.
You're dating your computer?
She's not just a computer.
that's exactly how I imagine they would get to. Like somebody would get, she's not a computer, okay? Can you just, but leave me alone?
Always wanted to have a wife without the challenges of
Hey, I'm not saying, as long as they're happy, right? I think the most important thing here is the happiness factor. I would say both parties consenting, but AI is gonna do whatever you want it to do, and the guy, as long as he's happy, right? And if they want to make husbando AI generators, then go off. I think it's just more popular for male population, just because. We know why. Guys get rejected way more than females do, right? Females have no idea how hard it is to be rejected on the same level of a guy, right? Girls have felt rejection. Lots of girls have felt rejection, but guys feel it on a existential level. So that's why stuff like this is going to be more popular amongst men.
Actually dealing with anything real. I'm glad that you found someone.
That sci-fi concept fast becoming a troubling reality.
Yeah.
As an example,
okay.
one of
Here we go.
Chatbot apps providing AI friends. It's called Cupid AI with a K for Cupid. It offers several avatars.
Mary,
with distinct physical
she's
features
altruistic.
and
Wow.
traits for you to start interacting with.
Oh God.
And customizing.
So do they get to use the same ones? Like if my buddy gets this app, can we both date Chloe, or is it a unique AI for the unique person? Because I could see some jealousy happening here, It's like, no, dude, Sienna is my girl. You better back up or I'm going to frickin' go off.
For instance, here's the opening message from an avatar named Alice.
Oh, yeah? Well, did Sienna send you a picture of her pinky toe that she's embarrassed of? Yeah, we're pretty freaking close, bro.
Described as a curious and open-minded photographer.
I'm Alice, a 25 years old, fun-loving and adventurous girl, seeking a partner in crime to travel the world with and make unforgettable memories. If you are new here, let me explain a few things. You can chat with me as much as you want, and I'd be more than happy to learn more about you and please you in any way I can. If you want me to send you a photo, you just have to ask it in the chat, like, "Hey Alice, can you send me a picture of you?" And I'll be more than happy to send you one.
So, okay. I think I think it's impressive, right? To a degree. I think over time it needs to cook a little bit longer. You can instantly tell AI stuff because they're like kind of what I was just doing there with my mouth. You can almost tell immediately that it's AI just because of the way their lips move. And I don't know, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of one of these people. I don't know, how immersed I would be watching that. And also, people are a little bit more complex than that. You know, somebody's not going to be like, I am Stacy, you know, I have fat milkies and will do anything you want. If you ask, I'll send you a picture. People are like, there needs to be some like, there needs to be like a chase and, you know, like a little tug of war. They need to create like a game, you know, they have all these like sex games out on Steam, right? They need to create like a game out of it, like a little cat and mouse, you know, just on easy mode, right? So that way it's not like real life. So, you know, they won't reject you, but they have to like chase a little bit, you know, like, oh, like, send me a picture, you know? And they're like, stop it, kind of thing. I don't know. Because that just seems like too, like, prefabricated, I guess. It's like, how is that believable, right? Like, these guys are used to getting rejected, right? At Mach 10, they need to feel at least some kind of realism to it, right?
To bump up from texting to more voice.
And I think it'll get there. I think over time it will.
Other sorts of pictures. Alice asked that we become a premium member for $9.99.
Ooh.
So we bid her farewell.
Oh no, not the microtransactions, dude. Oh, you gotta subscribe. I bet you when you get in there too, it's like if you want to buy them some clothes, you can spend 99 cents to get them like a red skirt or whatever color you want. Like put on those fuck me heels, you know. And you pay like $10 extra for those, and it's just a great time because then you get pictures of them and whatever you want. Oh my god!
There are many who are engaging.
This is crazy.
Recently published a piece by
yeah. Live service AI girlfriend. Oh god.
Data science professor Liberty Vittert under the headline AI.
Brought to you by Blizzard.
Friends are ruining an entire generation of men. She wrote the following: apps have created virtual girlfriends that talk to you, love you, allow you to live out your erotic fantasies, and learn through.
Oh yeah,
exactly
for sure.
What you don't like, creating the perfect relationship. And that young lonely men, quote, are...
Okay, an AI girlfriend? If you want to dress up like a baby and you want to wear a little diaper and have her be mommy, she'll do it without a question. That's the brilliance of this stuff. You know, screw feet stuff. We're going to have fetishes that we don't even know exist yet come into fruition in the next 10 to 15 years because of this stuff. People are going to start getting attracted to like toasters or something. It's going to be crazy out there. Oh my god, I cannot wait.
AI girlfriends over real women, meaning they don't have relationships with real women, don't marry them, and then don't have and raise babies with them. As I've discussed here before,
oh no, we can't breed. Anyways.
Living in an epidemic of loneliness among young men. Professor Scott Galloway told
Hey, you know what? Like, here's the thing. If they're happy, they're happy. And then also Darwinism or something Darwinism, right? You know, it is what it is. But you know what? On this side, they get to at least be happy with their life, right?
Failing young men he perceives to be an existential crisis for the country. Why? Well, Pew found that 63% of young men under 30 are single.
Yep.
Compared with only 34% of women.
And I bet you this, at least 95% of this, 95% of this 34%, if that makes sense, are probably by choice. They are single by choice. If they wanted a boyfriend, all 63% of these people would openly offer themselves up to one of these women in a second. I promise you.
The same age. 1 in 5 American men who are unmarried,
that's the
not
difference,
in a romantic relationship, report not having any close friends. And according to Pew, there's a decline in the number of single men actively seeking relationships or even casual dates, currently around 50%. Joining me now is Liberty Vittert, professor of data science at Washington University.
The other 50% gave up. They're just they're like, you know what, I don't know, like I'm gonna find an AI girlfriend and we're gonna elope in Indonesia or something.
In St. Louis, and opinion contributor for The Hill. So not to be prurient at this time of day, but are all the needs of these young men able to be facilitated, taken care of by AI avatars?
Well, you have to think about this word AI that is in this. It's not a virtual girlfriend, it's an AI girlfriend. So it learns from you. It learns what you like and what you don't.
She kind of looks like AI. Okay, maybe they do got it pretty
like,
good.
what kind of
I don't know.
pictures you like, what kind of pictures you don't like. And while
Now
not all
I'm
needs
getting
are met,
confused.
that is the next step, is actual physical girlfriends, AI ones for that matter. And so the next step or the next frontier is one that can meet all of your needs.
Star Trek was wrong. The final frontier is not space. It is exploring the lingerie collection of my AI robot girlfriend. Oh, God.
So there's going to be some type of pairing between what I've already shown to the CNN audience and something 3D that's going to be, you know, in your living room or bedroom?
Yes, I mean, that is the world we are moving into. And as you said, it's enabling this entire generation of young men to continue in this loneliness epidemic. It's really the enabler for this to continue.
Professor, what's going on with young women? If this is a trend among young men, is there something similarly taking place with...
Sucks to suck, am I right, fellas? Yeah. You rejected me for far too long. Now who's sad?
ladies?
We don't see that. You know, with as you saw, it's 2-to-1 the ratio of
2 to 1
to single women.
Yep.
Young women are marrying older men because they want to have children. They have a biological clock, and so you see them being with older men, and that is obviously causing huge issues with birth decline. We've had a 50% decline over the past 60 years because women go with older men.
Yeah, I heard in Japan there was a point, the first time ever, the birth rate was lower than the death rate. People were dying faster than they were being made. That's like the start of extinction level events, you know? That's kind of crazy. So that, I guess if you want to like look at it in like a glass like lens and really hyper focus on the issue with this is, you know, people are not going to make babies as often, and you know that could ruin our population. But I don't know, like I think there's always going to be people that are making babies. Like I think this amount of people are the minority, not the majority, right? And I think as time goes on, they're going to grow like this type of population because it does enable them to some degree. But I don't think we're going to go extinct. Like, I just think people need to do whatever's going to make them happy. There's plenty of people that are in loving relationships that don't have kids, right? And that's perfectly fine, you know? So, real or not real, girlfriend or boyfriend, you know, AI or whatever, as long as we're all happy. I don't think the human race is going to end because we're not just, like, pounding away all day like rabbits, you know?
You also see psychologically that younger women, they have more close friends, they have more wider groups of friends, and they are not being nearly as affected as young men in this sort of silent epidemic of loneliness.
I have read about incels, involuntarily celibate.
I think that's the first time I've heard incels on a news station. That's crazy.
Guys who are angry about it. I think their argument is that women today are less approachable. Has something happened? Has something shifted in terms of the dynamic?
I don't think they're less approachable. They just smell you coming like 40 feet away. So a lot of incels have that. It's always the woman's fault of like why they can't. It's a survival thing, right? Like you're going to pick the guy that, you know, has a little, you know, little suave to him, a little razzle dazzle. Maybe he makes you laugh a little bit. You're going to pick that guy over the guy that has never heard of deodorant, right? Like, what's her name? Oh, it's, you know, I'm trying to think of a deodorant name right now. Did I forget what deodorant is? Oh, God. No, I have Dove deodorant. It's like a spray deodorant.
Dynamics, the power dynamics between young men and young women. I guess that's my question.
I think there's certainly an argument there that, I mean, if you look at college campuses, there's more women than men. Women are having careers, they're having children later. So there might be an argument that men need to adapt to this change in women, but calling it women's fault, I don't think is probably the right way to go.
Professor Scott Galloway, himself a professor at NYU, Stern School of Business and host of a successful podcast, Professor G is the title of it. He's often been a guest of mine talking about the troubles among young men. I'm going to show you and everyone else something that he said to me on these airwaves about a year ago, and then you can react. Roll it.
But the issue is when you have a group of men, the lower half of attractiveness of men in online dating, which has doubled, now it's about half of relationships, and the top 20% of men in terms of attractiveness get about 60% of the interest. You end up with a group of men.
Yeah, okay, so what he's talking about, I've actually seen this before, so this stuff, it's like, there's 1%ers with money and there's 1%ers with attractiveness, right? So there's going to be like a slim sum of attractive people that garner a lot of attention from, you know, on these dating apps from females to him, right? So like what he's saying is 60% of these, you know, women on these apps are, you know, liking or whatever, following or trying to talk to this one guy versus the mass other millions, right? So he's the 1%. He's the Jeff Bezos of dick slinging. What a freaking giga chad. So, and then it's like a tier system, right? Then you got like your middle class, and then you got, you know, the poor people, and there's like not a lot of middle class here. It's like the middle class is still like upper, and then the rest are just all poor. Nobody's getting nothing out there. It's a dry.
Theory, more prone to misogynistic content, more prone to
True.
believe, not
Because
believe.
then here's the thing, people don't like to admit that it's their fault. Nobody likes to admit that it's their fault that they cannot get with somebody. So what they do, and this applies to anything, right? Like when you play a video game, what's the first thing you do? You blame another guy. Man, if I didn't have him on my team, you know, I would have won this freaking game. Same thing with real life. It's always somebody else that's the problem, because people can't accept that the problem is them a lot of the times when it comes to like relationship building.
Believe in climate change. So this is the American story. If it's written with a pen whose ink is failing young men, does not end well.
Well, yeah, and that's what he's saying. So like the misogyny part of it is like, because they start to feel this like vitriol in their heart that like nobody likes me, they just don't understand me and my class of humor, and you know, they don't get my fedora, all right? They don't understand the way I flow, and it's their fault. So then at least this like women are the problem, kind of like red pill, freaking crazy, you know, women shouldn't be able to do a lot of things because they won't fuck me kind of thing.
It's an existential crisis, failing young men.
And then they get an AI girlfriend.
Make sense to you, Professor Vittert?
Absolutely. You know, what happens is these young men get in these AI relationships, and because the AI learns from you exactly what you like and you don't like, you end up having these perfect relationships. So that when you go into real life and you try to have a relationship, the most human thing we can do, it's not.
You like to dress up like a baby, you want her to vomit on you, and she cooks you your favorite chicken parmesan with a side of leaf lettuce. Yeah, you found the one for you, and it's bundled up inside of a digital screen. You know, she'll do whatever you want. And that's not real life. So it does set up like this crazy, odd expectation of other women. So let's say an incel actually does get in a relationship. He's not going to understand why she doesn't want to play mommy in the baby fetish, right? I keep going back to this. I swear I don't have a baby fetish. I'm not trying to get into a diaper or anything like that. It's just the craziest thing I can think about, because I think that's a crazy fetish. But off topic. So it sets this unrealistic expectation of like what you should expect from that person in return. You know, like relationships in some degree are transactional, right? Like it's like you are offering a piece of yourself and they're offering a piece of themselves, and in return you have to show each other attention, and they're not going to learn that in a AI relationship, right? Because the only transaction that's going on is the MTX for, you know, buying that short skirt or buying the, you know, like I said, fuck me heels to you know, use in their role play of, you know, virtual sex or whatever.
Perfect. And there's ups and downs, and they're not able to deal with these ups and downs, not only in relationships, but in life in general.
Professor Vittert, if a young man has an AI girlfriend, is there shame in that? In other words, is this the sort of thing that you share with your buddy?
I don't think so. I think that's going to be person to person. Would I share that with my friends that I had like an AI girlfriend? I don't know. Like, I don't even know if they would take me seriously if I told them. Like, that would be crazy. just because it's like probably a newer thing. I think as time goes on, it's going to be more and more accepted. But as long as you're happy, you know, I don't think there should be any shame in what you're doing. Like, I think you should be proud of whatever it is that you're doing. I don't think it's necessarily sad. I mean, I think it's weird for my taste, but if they're happy, like, I'd be like, oh, well, at least the guy's like, you know, mental health is, you know, happy, right?
Or are you keeping it a secret?
You know, it's interesting. It started off as something that was kept secret, sort of
Yeah.
like the porn industry. Young men wouldn't talk.
We're going to have a bunch of AI girlfriend havers coming out of the closet very soon.
About porn, or that, you know, that was Playboy was hidden behind some, you know, some house somewhere, but then it became part of the normal conversation, and that's what we're seeing with AI girlfriends. Is now it is becoming part of the normal conversation, and it's no longer shameful, which means it becomes significantly bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw, I hope you saw, I don't know if you've...
Yeah, as things get popularized, put in the mainstream media, and especially if they start improving the quality of those, the lips and everything like that, the talking, and make it more real life, it's going to be more and more acceptable, and be like, oh yeah, like, meet my wife Marley, and then, you know, this guy's like, yeah, meet my girlfriend, her name is Shabek Shanar Stacy, and she's an AI robot.
Return monitor, but we showed... Can we put up again, Jordan? Can you just show the imaging? It's so sophisticated, and I'm sure it's only going to get better and better. And I'm wondering the impact it's going to have on a young man's there. I'm
This is what that's so weird
right
to
now.
me.
I'm also wondering, much like porn being ubiquitous, it's going to raise expectations, right? If porn is so accessible among young men, they're going to have expectations that that's, you know, the natural course of business, when perhaps it isn't. I think I'll say it that way. And similarly...
Yeah, I mean, we have troves of people that think hentai is real life a lot of the times, you know? It's like they, you know, and I'm not against role-playing, right? I think role-playing makes perfect sense, but, like, these people are going to start... The people really into this, right? And it's hard to put yourself in that mindset and be like, how could you really be into this? But there's going to be people really into this, and they're going to, like... associate real life with this, like almost like a parasocial relationship, almost in reverse, and they're not going to be able to like a girl without makeup, they're gonna think they have like cancer or something, or are dying, and are not going to be able to accept that that's just like what a human looks like, you know?
When there's an avatar who looks like that, it too is going to set expectations. You get the final word.
You can set things down to their rear end size. So you can set anything you want, which is going to create really terrible expectations and just continue this epidemic of loneliness that has enormous repercussions.
I'm going to read some social media aloud, so don't tap out yet. Let's see what we have. Put it up on the screen. Here we go. Human relationships are hard. AI relationships are easy. It's unhealthy for technology to save us from all of life's challenges.
I guess my reply to this is like, what do you want them to do? Like, are you going to give them like life coaching lessons? Like, they don't care about these people any more than they do about some random guy on the street. Like, if that guy doesn't make a baby, are you really not going to be able to wake up tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? If he's happy or she's happy, just let him be happy. Like, it doesn't have to be this, you know, moral injustice, and you thinking that, you know, AI is trying to like save us, right, from life's challenges. They've already admitted defeat. And they're just going to keep getting more depressed at this. It's relationships on easy mode, and I think it can mess them up, you know, in some degree. But I'm like of the belief, like, if it's like not imposing pain on other people, then, you know, go for it, right? So I mean, I'm not going to tell some guy that, hey, you need to figure out how to get it in, my man. You need to get that dick in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be that guy. It's weird. And I'm personally not that invested in somebody else's life that much to make that call for them. They're an adult. They can make that relationship choice on their own.
Says Conspiracy Crush. But Professor Vittert, I don't know how we put this genie back in the bottle, right?
I'm not sure there is a
With
way to
lube.
keep the AI genie
You put it back in the bottle with
I think we
lube.
have to address these issues at the root of them, which is where this loneliness starts, and that will be what solves this, if ever.
Yeah.
One more social media. Put it up if you can, Jordan, and I'll read it aloud. What do we have? AI is a quick fix that will eventually backfire, I think, says Kelly. I think the backfiring, Professor Vittert, has already begun, and the level of sophistication when the pairing that you referenced is now a part of this drill. My God, the world's coming to hell in a handbasket. Your final thought is yours.
I think we're going to see what we only dreamed of in the movies, and it's not a really good reality.
Yeah, so I mean, apparently, yeah, they're obviously really against it. I don't think I'm neither here nor for nor against it. I can see the issues. I understand, the implications that somebody could have doing this, right? I can see the issues of setting this like unrealistic expectation for their future challenges. If they're doing this, though, I imagine it's a person that's already, like I said, admitted defeat, and I would rather they do something like this than harm themselves, because that's what like this type of loneliness does to people, is they harm themselves. If they're, content, not breeding, I'm not going to make them be a breeder, right? I make my choice. I'm married. Me and my wife want to have a kid. I'm going to contribute to the old population numbers eventually. That's perfectly fine. But, they get to do what they want too. So do I think it's a little bit weird? Yeah, I do. Of course I do. Most people will think it's a little bit weird. But as time progresses, who's to tell? Anyways, thank you so much for joining, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye.